Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
Did you hear what I said?
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. 5 brain cells, 4 aren't working.
It's the house!
You know, that's just one step above stupid. There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
Something happened to the other sound effects. Every time, it seems like. Oh, I guess I'm way down there, and let's see, put it over there. Looks like I'm missing part of my head. There we go, like that. All right. Let me see if I can fix that audio really quick. Audio, sound setting. Yep, that's good there. Open that up again. Hey, it's Amber Maiden. Let's see. That still didn't work on that that sound effect. I don't know. I have to figure that out, I guess. Let's make sure one more time. Yeah. Don't know. Didn't get connected somehow. And I do not know why, I guess. I always hate that when I can't figure something out. Anyways, today was been a crazy day. We had the Stephen Stern's earlier show where we went over the Plea agreement hearing where he basically pled no contest to the murder and pled guilty to the sexual, the allegations against Madeline Soto. Yeah, so he pled guilty to those, but basically he just pled no contest. And if you look it up, what is pleading no contest in court? It is in court of law, pleading no contest, also known as nolo contendere, whatever the hell it is, means a defendant does not admit guilt, but accepts the consequences of a guilty plea without directly admitting to the charges. And it sort of sounds like an Alford plea, doesn't it? So then you say, what is the difference between an Alford plea and no contest? And the answer to that is an Alford plea and no contest plea, while both resulting in a conviction without a trial, differ in how they handle the assertion of innocence. In an Alford plea, a defendant pleads guilty while simultaneously maintaining their innocence, acknowledging the prosecution's evidence is strong enough to likely result in a guilty verdict. Conversely, a no contest plea, also known as nolo contendere, means the defendant does not contest the charges, effectively accepting the conviction without admitting guilt. And there are some ramifications regarding civil lawsuits on that. I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? Pretty wild. All right, so anyways, so Stephen Stearns is going to be, and he got life in prison without parole. And so obviously, that means he did it. And he got life in prison without parole on the sexual assault charges against Madeline Soto. So even if someday he's found not guilty, or he's found, it's not going to happen, but let's just pretend that he was found not guilty somehow. He got a new trial of the homicide. Well, he'd still be life in prison for the other one. And he admitted to that one, so he's screwed. All right? And the one he admitted to is the one that doesn't work too well in prison. All right? But hey, guys, we got a new show we're doing right now, so if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the Grant Hughes Investigates channel, maybe we can make up for some of these other days. I would appreciate it. We got the coffees, the super chats, the channel membership, gifting, etc., etc. Yep. Hello, Gina. Looks like it's just mod. We got mod night. All right. So here's what Trump wrote on Truth Social. I thought it was a fake at first, so I went over there to Truth Social, and there it was. He really wrote, Brian Kohberger, who was responsible in Idaho for the deaths of 4 wonderful young souls, has made a plea bargain deal in order to avoid the death penalty. They were vicious murders with so many questions left unanswered. While life imprisonment is tough, it's certainly better than receiving the death penalty. But before sentencing, I hope the judge makes Kohberger, at a minimum, explain why he did these horrible murders. I mean, he says exactly what I was thinking. I've been saying. People were shocked that he was able to plea bargain, but the judge should make him explain what happened. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I mean, for all the liberals or Democrats out there, I mean, you agree with that, right? I mean, just because he wrote it, it would show complete Trump derangement syndrome if you heard that and you thought, oh, bull, hey, he shouldn't get involved, blah, blah, blah. Because if anybody else said it, you would like the comment. So right there, when you just read that, do you agree with that? Because I do. I think everybody who thinks Kohberger is guilty and wanted it to go to trial and thinks he should have to say something, agrees with it, even if you don't agree with him politically. Yeah, thanks. And I'd like to have this night not be one of those nights where it's just this struggle for me to try to get the people joining in on supporting the channel. I don't want to have more of these. It's very discouraging as being a YouTuber. So here's the Gonzalez family. It says, I definitely do not want to get into politics at all, so I hesitate by even posting this, but wow, absolutely shocked. Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, Ethan, you have always mattered so much. You are so loved, and your nature, your light, your entire being is so bright and visible. You guys did this. You guys deserve every last ounce of recognition for this. There you go. Hey, thanks, Stephanie Sprague. I appreciate Trump speaking on it. However, BK is loving it. I don't know if he's loving it or not. He's loving it, I guess, and when anybody makes a video on him, apparently. I don't know if he's loving anything. Maybe, though. You never know. You never know. So what did you guys think of that? And then, like this one channel was talking about, hey, I don't know if he's inserting himself into a case. It's already over. It's been, all there is sentencing. Yeah, it has nothing to do with inserting himself. It's not like Ann Taylor has nothing to whine about. See, even the president said something. How can he get a fair trial? Yeah, I mean, how the hell could she, there's nothing to say now. He's already signed the document. This is really just the judge sitting around mulling it over, wondering how much he's going to charge. What his sentence is going to be. Thanks, Amber Maiden, or Bronco Girl, as it now says. Yeah, so at that tonight we go back over the... we covered the Donna Adelson, case when it happened back way a long time ago. But I guess apparently it's going to be going to trial soon. And I thought, a lot of you seem like you'd be interested in going over the case again. And I have this probable cause document. And that's what we're good at here. Okay? We go over the probable cause document and turn it into like a living... everybody, like almost a breathing thing where everybody gets it. It makes sense to people. Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot, Derek Sherman. Well, some people don't, though, Derek. Just like, they might think we should all have supported Biden, but, I mean, the country's just so divided these days. I wish there would be some. I just wish somebody that would run. I always say the same guy, so I'm not going to do it again. But that would run that everybody just likes. That just sort of, like we could just. That's kind of the key, isn't it? Like then we could all start talking about politics again together, if there was somebody that everybody liked, and that was just sort of, But we're never gonna. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Thanks, Derek Sherman. But like I said, you guys, Mike Rowe, he's the answer to that question. That guy, everybody likes Mike Rowe. Every single person. Yeah, what time is the sentencing on for Kohberger, by the way? It's on Wednesday, right? The 23rd. Isn't it like 9 or 10 in the morning? What's going on? There's a troll in here? Where's the troll? I didn't see it. This Gina person? Oh, yeah, it's probably a bot. Yeah, just get rid of those. What are you, an Onlys fan? Yeah, I think that Kohberger. So it's 9. I'll be in here at 7. How about that? Yeah, that's gonna be brutal. Holy crap. Whew. Yep, but I'll be in here. We'll do it. Yeah, I think that I don't understand when prosecutors have all the leverage in the world that they don't use it, and if like for example in the Kohberger case, he has all the leverage. He could just say, yes, we'll do this, but here's what you need to do. You need to tell us where you put the knife and why and how this all went down precisely. And if anything you tell us we already know isn't true, you don't get a deal. So ready, go. And if he goes, well, he looks at his attorney, I thought I didn't have to say anything. Deal's off, see you later. Forget it. That's how I would do it. I really don't care. I guess if I had some mayor or somebody above me pressuring me for, to make it go away because it's going to cost $15 million, I guess maybe that would be harder, but yeah, that's a whole day, isn't it? Like 2 days too, this sentencing thing? Like it's like a couple days, it sounded like. Well, I don't know if the family doesn't like him or not. I would imagine that Steve Gonzalez would like him. I mean, it would be strange if he didn't. He's also like an independent. He's not a... Yeah, he's already got the deal. Well, all we can hope for is that Bill Thompson, behind the scenes, got that information first. And sort of a conversation. Okay, yes, we'll do it. Let's... part of the deal, though, is you telling us, and maybe that hasn't been made public yet. That's all we can hope for, because that's not something you would write down in a document. He's just pleading guilty to these things, but maybe part of the deal that led to signing the document was Bill Thompson, because remember, he didn't want the gag order lifted for a few days because he was, a week, or what was it, 2 weeks, because he said that they wanted to get all the facts together. Well, maybe that involved being able to communicate with Brian Kohberger. Yeah, they're hoping just one day. But that's a long time. I mean, is that just people talking? Or, like, what takes that long? Is it just all the allocutions that are happening? That's why it might take a full day? That's amazing. No, we don't know, Scotch. We don't know. All right? I mean, pleading guilty is a confession, right? That's what that is. Bill Thompson needs to retire this week. Yeah, that's just so lame. What an unfortunate circumstance for the families to have a prosecutor like that on a case like this. Somebody, he's never he doesn't want to do the death penalty. He avoids it. So he was never going to, and having the death penalty on there, all that meant was, okay, I'll work for a plea deal because I will not put somebody to death. Yeah, so like that many people, hours and hours, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty lame to just do that. It's lame because he didn't communicate with everybody. That's what makes it bad. He didn't communicate with anybody. He just sort of, just a little bit of communication. Okay, and he just did it. Because he doesn't want to deal with the death penalty. And he should get harsh criticism, Amber. I mean, for 100%. He should get harsh criticism. And the reason he should is because if he didn't get Kohberger to admit what he did and tell him where the knife is, what possible reason would there be not to do that? That's horrendous. It's stupid. And if Kohberger didn't want to do it, if he had to tell those things, then that means they have something up their sleeve later down the road. Okay? He needed to tell him exactly where the knife was and exactly what he did that night. Don't you think? I mean, is there any argument against that? What's the argument against Thompson forcing Kohberger to tell him or anybody the people that he's negotiating with, what happened? It's ridiculous. I don't understand the argument for that. I mean, the deal, though, wasn't a terrible one. It was actually the second best thing other than the death penalty. Right. He needs to say more. Yeah, the other families, right? But other than that, so I mean, I get that he listened to some of the other families, but why didn't he get that information? Yeah. Idaho law says they cannot force him to spill. Well, then don't make the deal then. It's up to you, Brian. We're not going to force you to do anything. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. They didn't have to force him. That would just be part of the deal. Yeah, I would just say, listen, we'll only accept the plea deal if you tell us what you did. In this case, you know, it's up to you. But we, as the prosecuting team, will not accept the deal unless you tell us where it is. Okay? I mean, where the knife sheath is, or where the knife is, and what you did. I mean, that's just what I would say, and you're not breaking the law, the Idaho Code saying that. You're just saying, hey, listen, all you have to do is admit guilt in a typical situation. However, we're not going to make the deal with you unless you say what you did. So we're not forcing you to do anything, but that's the condition in which we will make the deal with you. So that's it. That's all I'm saying. Like, you don't have to make it where nobody's forcing anybody to do anything. You just tell them, yeah, no, it's definitely, yeah, we'd love to have a plea deal here, and we can't force you to tell us. However, we won't make the deal with you unless you tell us. Okay, so that's how it's going to work with you. No, it's okay. I mean, I agree with you on the other parts. I've said that I think that the deal he cut, I agree with the deal for the family overall, because there's family members out there that did not want to have to go through years and years of crap. All right, I've said that. However, I would feel like Steve Gonzalez feels like. I'm just, going logically here. Do you really want to force families like the Chapins and Madison Mogen's parents to have to sit there and every year, here's another appeal, and it just constantly, they kind of want to move on for their kids' sake. They'll never forget the kid that died. I'm just saying, start moving their life forward again. They've had 3 years of just stagnant, sitting around doing nothing. Yeah, so I get that part. I'm just saying they needed to make a deal. I would be totally okay. I think most people in here would feel a hell of a lot better if they'd held out for him to tell exactly what happened and where the knife is. I know it's not required in that state, and nobody's forcing anybody to do anything. But what you do is you don't have to force. You just say, listen, you're not required to do this. We're just not going to give you the deal unless you tell us where you put the knife and where you, how the crime went down, all right? That's it. That's how you say it. Yeah, I think he just wanted to cut a deal. I mean, I don't disagree with Amber on the other part, I just think that, But anyways, let's try to have not have the massive lulls in here tonight, you guys. Let's try to get to some sort of a semblance of a goal of some sort. All right, I'm going to go to the Donna Adelson. That's what I'm switching over to. So if you're not interested, see you later. Well, I mean, the only thought that I know is he didn't get that information, right? He didn't get the, where's the knife, and he didn't get where the, what went down, okay? So I don't have to read his mind to know that he just didn't get that shit, all right? And hopefully he did, and we're just inventing something. Thanks, M10. Why doesn't he have to prove he knows something the killer wouldn't know? I know, right. Shouldn't that be part of the law? Not, I just have to admit guilt. I mean, who came up with that, by the way? What moron decided to come up with a law that said, they're not required to, they just have to admit guilt? What? No, I mean, part of it should be, you admit guilt and you give us a narrative of what happened. and you tell us stuff like M10 just said, that only the killer would know. That way we're sure. We don't want to convict the wrong person after all, you know. I mean, what a dumb law that is. Jesus, that's just... what's the logic behind that? Right, Brian Kohberger, right. All right, anyways, here we go. Here we go. You guys ready? I mean, I like more chatting going on. It's just dead as a doornail again. As soon as I said we're switching over to Donna Adelson, oh, they left. And then, you know, here's the thing. I don't know if we'll have to go out and share the video or what, but it feels like we should have more than 167 watching. Yeah, we've gone over the Adelson one. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember if it had that many crazy elements like that. That's right. Look what Derek said. And thanks, Alley Cake. Derek said, "Come on, people, help out. Great show. All the other really spew bullshit for clicks." Exactly. All right, here we go. All right, this might take, there's 24 pages of this. So we'll get to know it again. And I guess this was way like 10 years ago. It's crazy. Maybe almost 11. Yeah, almost, basically 11 years ago, 2 days ago. Or 3 days ago. Thanks, Richard Watts and Susie Clue. Yeah, I don't think he's a piece of crap or anything. I mean, I'm sure he put in some hard work, even though he misstated a bunch of stuff in his allocution that he gave. You know, he didn't seem to have it all in his grasp. I always feel like these guys, they've had the notion of a plea deal for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if Ann Taylor and Bill Thompson had been talking for quite a while and just saying, "Is he ready yet?" "Okay, not yet. All right. Is he ready?" "Okay, good." And Bill Thompson, they had all the information, and he hadn't prepped for trial quite yet. He could probably do it in a week, but he's just like, yeah. He never thought it was going to go to trial. I wouldn't be shocked at all if that's what they were doing, because they seem really sort of amenable to each other, you know. All right, yeah, okay, here we go. This affidavit sets forth probable cause to believe that Sigfrido, this is Garcia and Luis Rivera. This is their case, but these guys are related to. This is defendant Donna Sue Adelson. So this is the summary of offense and probable cause. All right, so it's probably going to be almost identical to the other one, but this is for her. It's not these other people here. This affidavit sets forth probable cause to believe that Sigfrido Garcia and Luis Rivera murdered Florida State University Law School professor Daniel Markle, and the murder was arranged through Catherine Magbanua, Charles Adelson, and Donna Adelson in violation. Has Charles had his trial yet, or in violation of Florida State murder per chapter 782. On Friday, July 18th, 2014, a report of a shooting was received at 2116 Trescott Drive, the home of Florida State University Law School professor Daniel Markle in Tallahassee, Florida. Upon arrival, Tallahassee police officers found Markle slumped over in the driver's seat of his vehicle from an apparent gunshot to the head. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of that other one. What's the one with the Zozo will know it really quick. The one where you put a tire in the street. It kind of reminds me of that, like just a lot about it. What was that one? God. I'm not sure why the name isn't popping into my head. You know, the one with the tire in the street and then the car stopped and then somebody came up and shot him? You know which one I'm talking about? I don't care. Ig rocks. Okay, so let's see. What was the name of that case? Oh, there it is. Jared Bright again. I just found it in 2 seconds. All right, there we go. Oh, it looks like Lisa typed it in, but yeah, Jared Bright again. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's a little bit like that, isn't it? Just conspiracy. Hey, thanks, Sandy Shirley. Yeah, we'll see how the show goes. I mean, this is one of those experiments again. Here we are. We're covering something different. So he was slumped over in the driver's side seat of his car. Man, look at it. I'll show you that spot. It's right here. His house. I've had these pins have been in my computer for a long time. So I think that's it. That house. So maybe in this driveway here. You know, it'd be interesting is to what year? This is 2014. So if you go to Google Maps here, yeah, it's this one right there. And then here, see more dates. Yeah, look at that's 2013. In that image, he's still alive. And then this one, this is 2015, so he's not alive. And look at now, it's up for sale. That's crazy. 2011. I wonder if that. I wonder if that's his car right there. That'd be wild. All right. You guys are so quiet. Nobody's typing. Come on, type. The investigation of the crime scene found no indication that this incident was part of any other criminal intent, such as burglary or robbery. A neighbor heard a loud bang and looked outside his window, where he saw a small silver or light-colored vehicle resembling a Prius backing out of the victim's driveway. He walked over to check on Markle, discovered him in distress, and called 911. Huh. I wonder if that, I mean, was that his car that... I mean, it's sort of interesting. That's a silver car right there. Why does it do that? Whenever I click on that, it doesn't open up. Jesus. Now, is it way down here? Is that the deal? Oh, God. It was open up and it was right off the edge of the screen. Okay, investigators located the victim's ex-wife, Wendy, at a local restaurant and transported her to the Tallahassee Police Department for an interview. During the interview of Wendy Adelson, she made statements suggesting the murder of Markle could have been arranged by someone on her behalf. I think that sort of indicates that she didn't plan it, you know, without her knowledge. But she knew that there was family members talking, you know, saying stuff. Wendy indicated her parents were very angry at Markle and further suggested that someone could have arranged the murder thinking it would help her. She specifically mentioned that her brother, Charles, a.k.a. Charlie Adelson, joked about hiring a hitman to kill Markle in the past. She said her brother makes a lot of jokes in bad taste and had previously commented that he looked into hiring a hitman. But it was cheaper to buy her a television as a divorce gift. Wendy indicated that she did not think her brother would actually commit this crime. It should be noted that Wendy's mother, Donna Adelson, set a television repair appointment on, Donna Adelson set a television repair appointment on July 11th, 2014 for Wendy's television to be repaired on the morning of the homicide, July 18th of 2014. Records obtained from from Best Buy show a service was completed on her television the morning of July 18th, 2014. Were they still living? Why would it matter? The date of the homicides. Wendy stated that after the divorce, she wanted to relocate to South Florida with her children. She felt her former in-laws would suspect her of murdering their son since she was denied the ability to move by the court. Yeah, we have less and less people the more we go into this. Wendy filed for divorce on September 10th, 2012. The divorce was later finalized by a marital settlement agreement on July 31st, 2013. Okay, so they were still living together. Let's see. This happened on July 18th. And then July 11th, Wendy's television, she sent somebody over to repair the television. And that was on the 18th. Wow. Okay, so yeah, so the mother ordered somebody to repair her television at that house on the 18th, the same day that he was killed. And then it says right here, Wendy filed for divorce on September 10th, 2012. The divorce was later finalized by a marital settlement agreement on July 31st. Okay, so they were divorced already. So what's the... why are they repairing a television at Markle's house? That doesn't make any sense. The review determined Wendy Adelson and her brother Charles, as well as their parents Harvey and Donna Adelson, were determined to have Wendy and two Markle children relocated to South Florida, where the Adelson reside after her divorce from Markle. Markle objected to his ex-wife moving his children to South Florida, and on June 20th, 2013, Leon County Circuit Judge Hobbs formally denied with prejudice Wendy's motion for relocation with the children. After the court's denial, Wendy's parents, especially her mother, Donna Adelson, repeatedly tried to convince Wendy to coerce Markle into allowing the relocation to South Florida. Let's see, after the court's denial, Wendy's parents... Okay, so, Wendy's, Markle's ex-wife, Wendy's parents, especially her mother, Donna Adelson, repeatedly tried to convince Wendy to coerce Markle into allowing the relocation to South Florida. Donna suggested the family offer Markle $1 million to allow the relocation with Donna Adelson and her husband Harvey Adelson. I don't really get it. Donna suggested the family offer Markle $1 million to allow the relocation. Shit, now I have to go back up here again. Were denied to have Wendy and the two Markle children, Adelson and her brother Charles, as well as their parents Harvey and Donna Adelson, were determined to have Wendy. Oh, I see. and the 2 Markle children relocated to South Florida. So it was Wendy that wanted to move, and then they wanted to pay Markle $1 million to allow them, to move it. But you guys we're having those massive lulls again. So we're doing the reading. We're going over all this. Let's make sure that this is, we're covering something that people are interested in. Yeah. So anyways, Donna suggested the family offer Markle $1 million to allow the relocation with Donna Adelson and her husband Harvey. Adelson contributing 1/3. Wendy Adelson contributing 1/3, and Charles Adelson contributing 1/3. So like a brother, the sister. I mean, what's their deal? Each one of them came up with $333,000 just so they can move the kids to South Florida. That's just bizarre, Donna also suggested that Wendy threatened to convert Markle's children to Catholicism, knowing Markle was very observant in his Jewish faith, and that the religious practices of the children were of the utmost importance to Markle. And then Wendy Adelson, prior boyfriend, Jeff Lacasse, stated Wendy disclosed to him that Charles had seriously looked into hiring a hitman in the summer of 2013, and he was told it would cost $15,000 to $50,000. Lacasse also reported that when he was visiting Charles Adelson with Wendy Adelson in the spring of 2013, so the ex-boyfriend of Wendy, when he was visiting her brother, Wendy's brother, with Wendy there in the spring of 2013, Charlie Adelson bragged about being connected to a Cuban criminal element. It was learned that around the time of the murder, Catherine, now you can tell me how to pronounce that name. Magbana. But yeah, you guys, as we're watching, when I'm reading through this, if you guys would like to help support the Grant Hughes Investigates YouTube channel, get some channel memberships, get the coffees, the super chats, whatever. We're trying to move it forward through the month. We've had a really struggling time lately, or at least 2 days in a row, so maybe we can get a good one today. And there's Derek Sherman again. Thanks, Derek. It feels like it. That's what it feels like, Derek. It's boom, boom, boom. Is everyone asleep in here? I have no idea. That's what it feels like. And his relationship with the Adelson family was through Charles Adelson. Okay, let's see. It was later confirmed by Catherine Magbana. Who pronounced that name earlier? I'm just going to say Magbana. Charles Adelson enlisted Magbana, so Wendy's brother, enlisted Magbana, who then enlisted the father of her 2 children, Sigfrido Garcia, so the father of her children, but they're not married, to carry out this murder. Garcia enlisted Rivera assistance, and Magbana, Garcia, and Rivera were compensated for their actions. Let's see. Catherine Magbana. Man, I think I made like a chart of this. Let's go look for something. It feels like I did something like that. Let me see if I can find that. Well, Derek, thanks. I'm going to see if I can find that old folder, looking through this my repository that I have, or whatever you call it. Hey, thanks for the coffee there, Mary. Appreciate it. I might have to go back through this on my own at some point and put it all the timeline and pictures and everything, and then it makes it really easy. Yeah, this is. I mean, right now I'm just looking through my old files to see if I can find the original folder that I had on this. So it's, oh, there it is, right there. So this is, that's February 13th this year. I did it way before that. But look at that, you guys. I did have this is from, let's see, hold on. When did I create this? That's awesome. This is November of 2023. So look, there it is. Look at that. Boom. Can I get a boom? Look at that right there, man. That's sweet. All right. Yeah, I knew I had that. I'll put it in there. I'm going to go to that whole folder and just move everything over there. Let's see. It looks like I have a couple of them. That's pretty sweet, though. Can you believe that? Just sitting right there. All right, let's open that up again. I don't have to open that one. Let me see. View, large. Yeah, right here. So there you go. There's Dan Markle. This is Wendy Adelson here. Donna. And Harvey there. I guess who I don't have on there is the brother. Oh, no, there he is. Charlie. So there's Charlie. And he's the one that contacted her, and then she got Sigfredo Garcia, or I guess Rivera here, and then they're also connected to this guy. And then Sigfredo Garcia is the one that killed. I mean, this is almost exactly like that other case, you guys. It's crazy. All right, so we have this already. That's good. I'm glad to have that. So let's just kind of keep this open here while we're, especially right after we read this part here. Let's just start this again here, this part. Wendy Adelson's, okay. Prior boyfriend Jeff Lacoste stated Wendy disclosed to him that Charlie had seriously looked into hiring a hitman. I think it's down here. It was learned that around the time of the murder, Catherine Magbana was involved in a personal relationship with Charlie. So when did her name get brought up? Was that that's just, this one here is just about how he was serious about hiring a hitman. And then here is talking about how Charlie here was in a relationship with her. So these two had a relationship. See, isn't that weird? That's very similar. Because remember in the other case, she was married to a guy that had connections, and they killed. Really weird. It was later confirmed by Catherine Magbana. Charlie Adelson enlisted her, who then enlisted the father of her two children, Sigfredo Garcia, to carry out this murder. Garcia enlisted Rivera's assistance. Okay, so when was Rivera mentioned first? Okay, right here. This affidavit sets forth probable cause to believe that Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera murdered Florida State University. Okay. Does he show up in there again? Okay. So, Magbana got her the father of her children. And then Garcia enlisted Rivera's assistance and Magbana. So then Garcia and Rivera were compensated for their actions. Magbana was the only link between Markle and the shooters. Right. Because she was dating Charlie. Shooters Garcia and Rivera. Magbana's only ties to Daniel Markle are Charles Adelson and a couple instances where she met Wendy Adelson. The only way Magbana, Garcia, and Rivera knew of Daniel Markle, and that's going to be Charles, and her relationship with Adelson's family was through Charles Adelson. There you go. While in the interview room, Wendy wanted to call her parents to notify them of the incident. While contemplating aloud as to what she would say, she told the victim advocate. So Wendy wanted to call her parents to notify them of the incident. While contemplating aloud as to what she would say when she called her parents, she told the victim advocate sitting next to her that her parents were very angry with Markle and described it as a very effed up situation. But she used the actual word. Wendy then called and talked to her mother, Donna. After notifying, so Wendy then called and talked to her mother, Donna. So Wendy called her mom, Donna. I wonder if it'd be better if I made this narrow here. Hold on. Like that. And then have this kind of like right there, and then make me smaller, like that. How about that? How about that for service? I mean, anybody else have this org chart out there? Didn't think so. I can make it bigger there. There you go. Alright, so let me do that part. So it says, Wendy then called and talked to her mother, Donna, after notifying Donna of the shooting. Wendy asked her to notify Charles, her brother, of the shooting, so Wendy would not have to do so. Then after Wendy's conversation with her mother, Donna, Donna, the mother, called Charles, telephone, at 7:11. He wasn't at a 7-Eleven, that just happens to be the time. 7:11 p.m., which went to voicemail. Charles then called Donna's cell phone at 7:13. So she went to voicemail, and then 2 minutes later, Charles then called Donna's cell phone at 7:13, calling back with a call duration of 5 minutes and 47 seconds. At 7:29 p.m., Charles called Donna again with a duration of 6 minutes and 31 seconds. At 7:36 p.m., Charles called Catherine. So now, checking in to see, hey, did you guys... at 7:36, Charles calls Catherine Magbana, his ex-girlfriend, who also enlisted Sigfredo Garcia, who himself enlisted Luis Rivera. Kathy Magbana, ex-girlfriend of Charles, Wendy's brother, Charlie, Wendy's brother. I don't know how Magbana and Rivera, is it Sigfredo that knows Rivera somehow? But hey guys, how do we get the motivation in here to help support the channel on a night where we're covering something else? That would be awesome. let's see, with the call at 7:11. So it went a 5-minute and 47-second call, and then another phone call for 6 minutes and 31 seconds, and then at 7:36, Charles called Catherine Magbana's cell phone with a duration of 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Wendy's parents, Harvey and Donna Adelson, made contact with the lead TPD investigator at Markle's memorial service on Sunday morning. So Wendy's parents, Harvey and Donna Adelson, made contact with the lead investigator at Markle's memorial service on Sunday morning, July 20th, 2014 in Tallahassee. They agreed to contact those investigators to arrange an interview before returning to South Florida. The following day, the investigators contacted Wendy on her cell phone. Once the investigators identified himself, Wendy claimed to have a bad connection and the call was terminated. Less than 5 minutes later, Wendy's attorney called the investigator and informed him that Wendy left town with her children and parents en route to South Florida. The attorney could not provide a date for Wendy's return to Tallahassee and requested he be contacted for any further inquiries. So don't try to call her. I don't know. We keep getting less and less people watching, you know. Harvey and Donna Adelson left Tallahassee with Wendy and the grandchildren the day after the memorial service, without speaking with the investigator as promised. Since leaving, no one in the Adelson, I thought up here, the day of the memorial, Wendy's parents, Harvey and Donna Adelson, made contact with the investigator at Markle's memorial service. They agreed to contact investigators to arrange an interview before returning. Okay. Harvey and Donna Adelson left Tallahassee with Wendy and the grandchildren the day after the memorial service without speaking with the investigator as promised. Since leaving, no one in the Adelson family contacted the investigators or inquired about the status of the investigation. Charles Adelson did not attend the memorial service for his ex-brother-in-law, but he wasn't even there, Wendy's brother. In July of 2015, Wendy had her children's surname changed from Markle to Adelson. Wendy did that. So that's the wife. So, I mean, it's weird, kind of. Like, does anybody out there think that Wendy had some knowledge of what was going on? Yeah, so that was Wendy that lawyered up there. Yeah, we've only got 138 people watching. Pretty soon we're going to have 90. You know? Ah, boy. It's just, see how you're just relegated to just covering, you know, like, you're just relegated to covering the Idaho case over and over and over just to get people in the door, because as soon as you talk about something else, it's just... On July 18, 2014, Markle left his home that morning and drove his 2 children to daycare on the west side of Tallahassee. Markle drove to Premier Health and Fitness Center. Markle arrived at Premier, where surveillance video shows a silver or light green Toyota Prius enter the parking lot after Markle parked his car. So that's probably not his in that street view. I mean, that's not the same vehicle. After Markle went into the health club, the video captured the Prius in the parking lot, where the driver moved the vehicle to a different parking positions while Markle was in the building. No individuals ever exited the Prius. Additional surveillance video discovered for the day of the homicide showed the same Prius before and after the homicide, including following Markle into Markle's neighborhood immediately prior to the shooting. After analyzing the surveillance video, the suspect vehicle was determined to be a 2006 to 2009 Toyota Prius with silver pine mica paint color. The Prius had tinted windows, a SunPass transponder on the top center of the windshield, a missing tow hook cover on the front bumper, and a black passenger side mirror casing. It was determined the Prius followed the victim throughout the morning and back towards his residence where the shooting occurred. This suspect vehicle fit the description given by Markle's neighbor after he heard a gunshot and looked out the window and saw the Prius backing out of the victim's driveway. Wow, Christine, that was very kind of you. Thank you so much for a barrel of coffee. Yeah, that was nice. Man, the chat's just dead as a doornail, though. I mean, just whew. Florida Department of Transportation. That was very kind. Thank you so much. Now, Florida Department of Transportation FDOT records for SunPass on Alligator Alley, I-75. Lauderdale on July 16th, 18th, 2004 had one account listing a Prius as a customer vehicle. Derek's trying to get people to help. It's just crickets in here. I might as well. I need a sound effect for crickets. Come on, everybody, start typing in. Help out the channel. You can do it. It's the easiest damn thing to do in the world. All right. I don't know why the sound's not working on there, though. So let's see. Florida Department of Transportation records for SunPass on Alligator Alley I-75 of Fort Lauderdale on July 16th and 18th, 2014 had one account listing a Prius as a customer vehicle. The SunPass transponder activity, so the transponder must have alerted them, like it's a rental, was consistent with cell site data for Rivera and Garcia, so the transponder matched their cell phones. But why did they even have their cell phones with them? I guess on those other dates. The transponder of interest in the case has a number there, per FDOT records. The SunPass account using the above transponder is a rental car company in North Miami, Florida. Law enforcement obtained the rental contract for a 2008 Toyota Prius on July 15th, 2014, 3 days before the homicide. The customer is listed as Luis Rivera, this guy right down here, with a contact number. There's a phone number there. A second telephone number was also written on the rental contract. Garcia's phone with the word brother written beside the number, and then the rental contract indicates the Prius was checked out at 6:15 p.m. on July 15, 2014 and rented to Rivera through July 21st. Wow, what a coincidence. 3 days after the homicide. The Prius rented by Luis Rivera on July 15, 2014 contained a GPS device installed by the owner. Oh, man. This guy's an idiot. Contained a GPS device installed by the owner to assist with the theft on or non-return. The GPS company records have the vehicle location on July 15th at 10:25 p.m. at the parking lot. So this is, let's see. Should we put that in there? I'm going to have to go back through this whole thing. Nah, that's not it. Wow. Jeez. Like on this little crazy little island place. So let's put that in there. And this is, I'll put that right here, and this is, what is this, 1025 07 15 2014 at 10:25 p.m. Prius. This was the location of Magbana's residence at the time. Okay. So she lived there. That's where Magbana lived. I'm sure I'm butchering that name. Somebody typed it in earlier. I was like, I don't care, but maybe I do. Magbana. Alright. Lived. Oops. Okay, man, that took too much time to type that in there. Vast improvement, which one? Hey, thanks, Allie K. Michelle H. All right. So that was the, and then, so this was the location. So on the 15th, they rented this car. Now they're over at Magbana's house. On July 18th, 2014, at 12:26 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the vehicle was located at North Monroe Street and East Avenue, Tallahassee, Florida. So that's on the 19th. Or 18th. Oh, so that's July 18th. That's the day that Markle was killed. Right? And that's at 12:26 a.m. So that's really early in the morning. So let's now put that in here. And watch, this will be right next to his house, I bet. Well, yeah, see. Well, he's right there, and Markle lives right there. So just right up the street. So you put that right there, and what was that? 12:26. 12:26 Prius rented by, what was his name again? Rivera. 26 a.m. So that's like after midnight. Yep, so there you go. You guys want me to do it like this? I mean, it's pretty, this is a really heavy, you know, this is, so that was on July 18th. The vehicle was located at North Monroe Street and East 6th Avenue. And then on July 19th, at 1:26 a.m., the vehicle was located behind 1505 Northeast 135th Street. And that was July 19th at 1:26 a.m. So that's probably way back from, yeah, exactly. And where they're saying, what are they going to say about that? The vehicle was located at, and there, this address is the residence of Jessica Rodriguez, who was a girlfriend of Rivera. Jeez, these guys. This is 1:26 a.m. July 19th. 1:26 a.m. July 19th. And it was Jessica Rodriguez. Jessica Rodriguez, girlfriend of Rivera. Maybe this will take a couple shows, I guess. Magbana. Okay. Alright, I think I need to fix this other one. Put a date on it. I didn't do that. 1:26 a.m. July 18th, 2014. Alright, and then this one is alright, there we go. Got that in there. Thanks. Blame it on the algorithm. Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to blame it on the algorithm. Probably a troll. Let's see. And for me, that is what it is. When you don't cover, see, for example, other people have been covering Adelson and I haven't been, so my channel isn't listed as a go-to, but maybe if I go through this and we go over it a few times, maybe they would. That's kind of how it works. Thank you, Sandy Shirley. And thanks again, Blame It on the Algorithm. I do. I really do. Thanks for spending about $3 to tell us that. Very cool. Let's see. Where are we at here? Vehicles located behind. That's at the girlfriend's house of Rivera. And then the cellular location data for Magbuna's, Garcia, and Rivera is consistent with them being in the area of Magbuna's residence during and around the time the vehicle's GPS showed its location to be parking lot of Magbuna's condominium. Both Garcia and Rivera met with, Garcia and Rivera met with Magbuna the night before departing for Tallahassee to commit the murder. Analysis of Rivera's checking account revealed an ATM transaction. I mean, look how stupid these people are. That took place in Broward County on July 18th, 2014 at 6:46 p.m. as they were returning to Miami from Tallahassee. Took place in Broward County. We don't have the address for that, unfortunately. Hey, look at Derek's waving. All right. July 18, 2014 at 6:46 p.m. as they were returning to Miami from Tallahassee, Florida. Security video from the drive-through ATM lane shows Rivera driving a Toyota Prius up to the ATM at 6:45 p.m. As the Toyota Prius exits the ATM area at 6:47 p.m., a Florida license plate can be seen on the rear of the car. The tag characters match those of the car rental contract. Unfortunately, they don't give us any address information on that, so I can't put a pin. Cellular records show numerous contacts between Catherine Magbuna and both Charles Adelson, the sister of Wendy, and Sigfredo Garcia. So she's like contacting each one, but I don't think Charles talked to Sigfrida. On one occasion, telephone records show contact between Garcia's handset and a cellular telephone registered to Harvey Adelson, the grandfather, or the father of Wendy. So it's registered to Harvey Adelson, Charles and Wendy Adelson's father, on July 1st, 2014. Wow. At approximately 11:47 a.m., McBona's telephone began attempting to contact. So this is on July 1st. And then it says, McBona's telephone began attempting to contact Garcia's telephone. Over the next 5.5 hours, McBona's attempted to contact Garcia approximately 48 times. Now, what date are they talking about? The Adelson father on July 1st. It must be July 1st. And then it says, over the next 5.5 hours, McBona's attempted to contact Garcia approximately 48 times. Let me get this picture back up here. At 5:05 p.m., McBona made contact with Garcia, and they had a conversation lasting 6 minutes and 22 seconds. Approximately 9 minutes later, at 5:20 p.m., Garcia's cellular telephone attempted to contact Harvey Cellular. That's probably to get the payout. The cellular records indicate this cell went to voicemail. Telephone number 7, the number belonging to Garcia prior to the murder, and had been a contact with the McBona's telephone number at approximately 2,700 times. Wow. I mean, that's crazy. Thanks, M10. Let's get the wave going. Waving back. Thanks, Derek. Wow, look at that. So Garcia, his phone contacted McBona's telephone number 2,700 times between May 1st and July 19th. How is that even? How do you do that? So look at, okay, May 1st to July. So May is 31, June 30, so 61. And then 61 plus 19, 80 days, you called somebody 2,700 times. I mean, what's the math on that? Okay, 80 times 30 is 2,400. So that means they talk to each other like 35 times a day for 81 days. That's crazy. Gray, I did the math. It's really 32.675, you bastard. The following contacts took place the morning of July 18th, 2014. Are you guys here? Wasn't that a lot of calls? Yeah, Maggot Butt. Let's just call her Maggot Butt. That's a little easier, isn't it? It's also gross. I mean, that's a lot of phone calls, isn't it? Yeah. How far are you guys behind me again? I mean, it looks like some of you are like 30 seconds behind. All right. Okay, so the following contacts took place on July 18th. At 12 to 12:23 a.m., Rivera and Garcia, these two guys, they handset communicated with cell sites in the area of Roadway Inn on North Monroe Street. Let's see where that is. That should go back up here again. This should be in the area of, yep, right there. So apparently I already have that there, that pin from a long time ago. And that's though from 12 to 12:23. 12:23, July 18th. 2014. All right, and then 12:01, Magbana contacts Garcia for 1 minute. That's her ex, or the father of her kids. And then 12:07, Charles Adelson contacts Magbana. Man, that's just, look at this crap. I mean, that's the brother, right? Or what's the? That's Harvey is the other guy, right? Yeah. I don't have him on there for some reason. Maybe I need to put him on there. So Magbana contacts Garcia at 12:01, and 12:07, Charles Adelson, the sister of Wendy, gets a hold of Magbana, his ex-girlfriend, who, though, is the middleman for the two hitmen. And then at 12:34, Magbana contacts Charles Adelson, and they talk for less than 1 minute. So she called back again. So this must be right before the homicide. What was the time that they came up with? I don't remember. So we're on page 4 here. 11:02 a.m. Huh. A report of a shooting. So that's 11. That's much later. So I guess we're gonna have to. And so this is like really early in the morning. And then 1:02 a.m., Charles Adelson contacted Donna Adelson, the matriarch. I mean, his mother. And then a minute later, Charles then contacted Magbana again. Yeah, like we're ready to go. Let's do it. And then at 8:09 in the morning, Donna Adelson contacts Wendy Adelson, and they talk for 35 seconds. I wonder what that... wouldn't you love to be a fly on the wall on that conversation? That would be crazy. And we don't have 250 people watching. We've got about maybe 100. 8:50, Daniel Markle drops his children off at Creative Preschool. All right, so do I have that? And that's that. I think I do have that in there. Yeah. There it is. It's right over here. That's one. This is a pin from a long time ago. It's okay, Derek. Don't worry about it. I appreciate your support, though, man. That's really cool. But he drops them off at the school at... let's get the address in there. 2746 West Tharp Street. But I do have that in there. Yeah. So I guess it's just this little school right here. God, it's so weird how similar this is. I wonder if that other case got ideas from this one. It's crazy. That Brightigan one. I mean, isn't it wild? I mean, it's so... I mean, even like the what's going on seems similar. Every element's the same. So I guess they went to this little school right there. So he dropped them off there at 8:50. All right, and then at 9:02, Daniel Markle contacts Wendy. So he calls her for a minute, probably like, "Hey, I dropped the kids off," or whatever. And then Charles Adelson, the brother of Wendy, calls Wendy at 9:12, 10 minutes after that. And then at 9:19, Wendy Adelson, the mother of them all, contacts her son, Charles Adelson. Yeah, this is crazy how it just kind of... Then 9:38 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts his mother, Donna. And then 20 minutes after that, at 9:58, Charles Adelson, the brother of Wendy and the son of Donna, calls again McBunna, the go-between. And now, because I think they're calling each other like, hey, we're ready to go, we're ready to go, we're ready. 10:07, McBunna contacts Charles Adelson, the, her ex-boyfriend, and, again, the sister of Wendy and the son of Donna. And they talk for 9 seconds. And then Charles Adelson, at 10:09, Charles contacts McBunna for 6 minutes. And then at 10:52 to 10:55, neighbors hear gunshots and see small, light-colored vehicle pulling out of Markle's driveway. And then, let's see, 11 a.m., subject on phone with Markle attempts to call Markle back. Oh, so somebody was on the phone with him? Back. Call goes to voicemail. At 11:01 a.m., subject texts Markle asking if he's okay. At 11:02, Markle's neighbor calls 911. Man, it took a while, didn't it? 11:06 a.m., Donna Adelson contacts Charles Adelson. Either attempted call or text. Man, this is nuts, man. Hey, thanks, Dixie Hippie. There's a lifeline for you, Derek. Let's see. And then right here it said 11:22 a.m. Charles Adelson contacts Donna Adelson for 7 minutes. So that means, okay, I know. Let's see. Donna Adelson contacts Charles. Well, where's the call? We need to have the call that sort of somebody called to say, hey, it's done, Markle, so then it's Donna Adelson contacts Charles. Like, hey, is it done? And then 11:22, Charles Adelson contacts Donna, probably to say, yeah, it's all, he's done, he's gone. And then 11:30, Charles calls McBunna. And then 11:31, Charles Adelson contacts McBunna for 5 minutes. So right before that, it was 30 seconds. Like maybe she said, oh, hey, yeah, it's all been done. I gotta go. Let me call you back. And then, or call me back in a minute. And then a minute later, they talked for 5 minutes. On the morning of July 18th, 2014, Garcia's telephone ceased activity just before 10 a.m. So that must mean he turned it off just before 10. While in the area of Premier Gym, with the last text message occurring at 9:58. I bet it's still, those gyms changed their name really quick. Well, there is a Premier Gym right over here. So, I mean, I guess that could be where it was. Premier Gym. Are you guys able to follow along pretty good? On the morning of July 18th, his phone is ceased activity at 10. So he turned it off, and that's Garcia. So that means he's getting ready now. (10 a.m. Garcia turns phone off. Last text at 9:58 a.m. Anyways, I thank you everybody for your generosity and everybody who's helps out over the years and every day, and you know. Let's see. The next, my nose is getting plugged again for my air conditioning unit again. The next event on Garcia's telephone was a text message or notification being received at 12:29 p.m. So he turned it on after, and I bet he's almost back home again. Yeah, see what? Yeah, there you go. Immediately after at 12:30 p.m. Garcia placed a call to McBunna, which was the first contact initiated by Garcia after the homicide. The call occurred when Garcia's phone was in the area of Lake City, Florida, on or near I-75, approximately 1.5 hours after the shooting was reported. But why didn't they get the area where his phone was during this time? Approximately 2 hours after Garcia and Rivera arrived back in Miami, McBunna departed her residence and went to Rivera's residence while attempting to contact Garcia telephonically. While McBunna, Garcia, and Rivera were together, McBunna had telephonic contact with Charles Adelson, her ex-boyfriend, and the one that hired them. McBunna traveled north to Charles Adelson's residence, where she would remain until the following morning. McBunna stated, while at Charles Adelson's residence, Adelson was armed and acting frantic. Charles told her his mother and father had just left his residence and left money that his mom had washed. At Adelson's trial, McBunna testified. So is this Charles Adelson's trial? McBunna testified that money she received was damp and moldy, like literally washed. I thought it was joking, like, or oh yeah, that money's been laundered. Moldy, consistent with being physically washed. Maybe that just shows you how stupid Donna is. Maybe Charles said, hey, we need some money that's been laundered, okay? And so Donna goes into and puts it in the washing machine. What a genius, huh? I'm showing my appreciation for being able to enjoy every day that I can enjoy my 13-year-old lab for remaining days. Yeah, I guess he's got a sick dog. Charles told his mother and father had just left her residence and left money that the mom had washed. But when people say washed, it just means like when somebody says laundered, they're not talking about cleaning it. It just means like it's been shifted around, and now when it's come back, there's no way to trace where you got the money from. Let's see if I got that right. Laundered money refers to the proceeds of illegal activities that have been disguised to appear as though they came from a legitimate source. Right, so I think what it means is that Donna Adelson and her husband are idiots. Like, they actually, hey, Mom, we need to launder the money, okay? Make sure it's washed. And she put it in the wash machine and put it through there, probably put some Tide in there, whatever, and washed it, and then goes, okay, great. We don't have time, and just took it out of the washing machine and then stacked it up and brought it over there, almost like a soup of $100 bills. Pretty wild, huh? I don't know. I think she literally washed the damn thing. You gotta admit, that's pretty wild, isn't it? I'm just saying. That's almost something that would be like in the movie Naked Gun or something, right? I mean, that's so ridiculous. Or like Airplane. Nah, she didn't want to wash the fingerprints off the bills. She didn't know what the hell laundry money meant. All right, let's see. Yeah, the money she received was damp and moldy, consistent with being physically washed, and was stapled into $1,000 stacks. McBunna took a Xanax that was provided by Adelson and fell asleep. The next morning, 7:19, at 9:44 a.m., McBunna left the residence and was told by Adelson that the money was in the trunk of her car. McBunna attempted to contact Garcia. Communication records in Charles Adelson's iCloud show Donna Adelson telling Charles Adelson she was outside your house. Okay, communication records, Charles Adelson, iCloud shows Donna Adelson telling Charles Adelson that Donna was outside Charles' house, I guess. At approximately 8:59 p.m. on July 18, 2014, cellular records for Donna Adelson and Harvey Adelson show an arrival time of 1:25 a.m. in Orlando, Florida, leaving an approximate hour and a half time block consistent with her being at Charles' residence. Donna and Harvey Adelson traveled to Orlando for the evening, then on to Tallahassee the following morning. Prior to the homicide, McBunna was employed at Miami Area Dental Office. Investigation revealed that after the homicide occurred in July 2014, McBunna started receiving paychecks from the Adelson Institute for Aesthetics and Implant Dentistry, which were handwritten and signed by Donna Adelson. Now that is laundering money there. These paychecks started in September of 2014 and were consistently in the amount of $407.58, which were received every 2 weeks. The memo section of each check indicated I didn't say for I mean, these guys are so stupid, you'd think it would say in the memo section for a hitman. Which was, the memo section for each check indicated it was for a period of 10 days, usually preceding the date of the check. The checks continued at least through April of 2016. On at least 2 different occasions, McBunna received paychecks in advance of the time period indicated on the check and frequently received sequential checks. McBunna received a significant amount of cash after Markle's murder. In the months following the murder, McBunna deposited over $13,000 in cash. In the 6 weeks following the homicide, she deposited more cash than she did in the entire year leading up to the homicide. These numerous deposits were conducted mostly through ATMs in increments of $300 to $2,000 from the homicide through November of 2015. So basically like a year and a half. The total amount of cash that investigators identified deposited into McBunna's account is over $56,000. This amount is over and above the paychecks she had received. The investigation revealed that McBunna did not work the Adelson Institute, probably at the, I forgot to put "at" in there. McBunna was also in possession of and operating a 2001 Lexus LS430 sedan automobile, which was registered to Harvey Adelson. So that was McBunna was also in possession of and operating a 2001 Lexus, which was registered to Harvey Adelson. Jeez. and previously used by Charles Adelson. On January 23, 2016, the title of this car was transferred to McBunna. Man, she's getting all kinds of money. And a new license plate was obtained in McBunna's name. Motor vehicle records indicate the vehicle was sold to McBunna for the price of $1,700. In addition, McBunna received cash and numerous gifts from Charles Adelson since Markle's murder. And that was like her boyfriend. So she was the ex-girlfriend of Charles. A review of their financial records indicated that Charles Adelson and Donna Adelson had the financial means to finance the murder and provide ongoing compensation. Well, hell, they were going to come up with $1 million to so that Dan Markle would allow his kids to be moved to South Florida. On April 19, 2016, an undercover agent made contact with Donna Adelson in reference to Markle's murder. The undercover agent provided a press release of Markle's murder, asked her for $5,000, and provided a phone number at which he could be contacted. As a result of this contact, conversations were intercepted. I don't understand. Like, what is that? An undercover agent made contact with Donna Adelson in reference to Markle's murder. The undercover agent provided a press release of Markle's murder, asked for $5,000, and provided a phone number at which he could be contacted. I think there's something really kind of weird about this. I remember this a little bit. Hey, thanks for gifting a membership, Jessica Schubach. I'm going to go blow my nose. Yeah, me too. I don't know what it is. It's like always in the evening or something. It's weird. So I don't know what it actually is. Alright. So, right, there's this weird undercover agent thing. And then Donna Adelson called to Charles Adelson asking him to meet her about some paperwork that was hand delivered to her outside her condominium. The icon on South Beach was intercepted. During this conversation, when Charles inquired whether it involved him or others, Donna responded in a whisper, "Well, probably both of us." When Charles asked her to repeat herself, she stated, "Probably the two of us. And you probably have a general idea of what I'm talking about." When Charles inquired further, Donna said this was not something she wants to discuss over the phone. So this is the intercepted phone call. During the conversation, when Charles inquired whether it involved him or others, Donna... So how does this happen here? So an undercover agent with Donald Adelson is reference to Markle's murder. So this undercover agent made contact with her, provided a press release of Markle's murder, asked for $5,000, but for what though? I mean, what are you talking about? And provided a phone number at which he could be contacted. As a result of this contact, conversations were intercepted. So there must have been something when something happened on, when she added the number to the phone, that calls could be intercepted, I guess. I don't know. Donna Adelson's call to Charles Adelson asking him to meet her about some paperwork that was hand-delivered to her outside her condominium. the Icon on South Beach, and that was intercepted. Okay, so this call, 1380, was intercepted. They were listening to it. It's like a wiretap. Okay, now it makes some sense. During this conversation, when Charles inquired whether it involved him or others, Donna responded in a whisper. During this conversation, Charles inquired whether it involved him or others. Donna responded with a whisper, well, probably both of us. When Charles asked her to repeat herself, she stated, probably the two of us. And you probably have a general idea of what I'm talking about. When Charles inquired further, Donna said this was not something she wanted to discuss over the phone. Then call number 1382. These are intercepted calls. All right. I think we can... The bump gray, what does that mean? What does that mean, the bump gray? Does that have a meaning? I'll tell you what would be cool if you guys could get some channel memberships tonight. We've only got 2 of them. That's pretty low for us in here. Right. I'm just saying these are intercepted calls right here. The bump. What do you mean the bump? Yeah, wiretap. Yeah, I just said that. Yeah. Yeah. I said it was a wiretap. That's what these calls are right here. Donna and Charles discussed meeting and whether or not Charles needed to bring cash. Charles inquired whether or not a threat was involved and whether the police should be contacted. Donna responded that this time she did not believe that was a good idea. Then another intercepted call, or at least one that they're reporting on. There are probably other calls that weren't significant. Charles Adelson called and immediately told his mother, Donna, don't talk about things in the apartment or any place. Thought they were being bugged. He then asked if the person was black, white, or Hispanic. Talking about the agent, probably. To which Donna said he was white. Charles said, it sounds like something that needs the police. Donna said she may have to, but wants to talk to him first. But what was the deal, though, when the guy showed up? How come he wanted $5,000? He said he was associated with the hitman. Is that right? They didn't really explain that much in here. At all, actually. Charles Adelson called and immediately told his mother, Donna Adelson, don't talk about things in the apartment or any place. He then asked if the person was black, white, or Hispanic, to which Donna, it sounds like a 911 operator, to which Donna said he was white. Charles said that sounds just like Zimmerman. Charles said it sounds like something that needs the police. Donna said she may have to, but wants to talk to him first. When Charles asked what the letter asked for, Donna said, this TV is probably about 5. Charles asked if they asked for 5,000, to which Donna responded affirmatively. Donna also said they mentioned an ex-girlfriend. Maybe well, Benadryl will keep you awake, don't they? Or do they make you sleepier? I don't even know. Hey, Derek gifted a membership. He's the only one that heard what I said. Hey, very cool. All right. Let's see. And then at 1392, Charles Adelson called Catherine Magbana after trying to reach her by phone. Now he's going to ask about this. Unsuccessfully about an hour before. Charles explained the situation to Magbana as he understood it from his mother. Something regarding her son, something regarding his ex-girlfriend, and the person asking for some money. Charles tells Magbana that he is going to see his mom the next day to discuss the matter. Then in some discussion of whether Magbana is the girlfriend referenced by the agent, Charles said he thought his mother said The agent mentioned McBuna's name, but he is not sure and will follow up with her if the situation does involve her. McBuna agrees to meet Charles in person the next day, April 20th, 2016. So this is like, years later. 2 years later. Charles never contacted any other females to discuss the contact between his mother and the undercover agent. The morning of April 20th, 2016, Charles told his mother he would meet her at her home at 12:35 p.m. After Charles arrived at the Icon, where she lived, where his mother and father reside, he and Donna walked outside to a remote table behind the building, so they were really paranoid at this point, and sat close together while conversing. None of their conversation was successfully captured. Wow. Man, that's wild. After meeting with Donna in person, he called McBuna and traveled to her in Sunny Isle at the real estate office where she worked. When Charles arrived at the strip mall where McBuna worked, they talked briefly outside, then went into a restaurant. After meeting with Donna in person, he called McBuna and traveled to her in Sunny Isle at the real estate office where she worked. When Charles arrived at the strip mall where McBuna worked, they talked briefly outside, then went into a restaurant, Dulce Vita, where the real estate office is. Their conversation was captured while they sat in the restaurant. The following statements Charles made directly to McBuna were previously only audible with use of proprietary software. Though the use of an expert, the audio conversation between McBuna and Charles was clarified. The following are portions of that conversation. If they had any evidence, we would have already gone to the airport. The problem is, even if they bugged this, even if they bugged your phone home, but even if they had bugged your phone, okay, but even if they bugged your phone, okay, you're still not talking about any of this. So my point is, how do you get people to talk? You throw in a smoke grenade, and then you get the cockroaches to run out. Like aha or something. There's smoke in the house. There's smoke in the house, and everyone's running, and everyone's talking, and you throw a smoke grenade. What do you think? Man. They may have approached my mom because my dad may be someone who is carrying a gun. This is all stuff that they recorded. You never know if someone you don't want it to turn into an effing shooting, And I can tell you a lot of times I carry on me. I mean, someone comes up to me, Cam, you're carrying right now? I mean, I'm going to start carrying one on my back, like, a holster that fits in your shirt. And it says, if someone comes up to me, they better be ready to shoot, because I'm going to shoot them. Someone comes up to me asking for money right now. Yeah, and when guess what? When an effing police show up, and there's a doctor, there's an oral surgeon standing there with a dead gang member in an effing driveway, they're not going to come down too hard on me. And I'm not going to talk anyways. I don't know much. I don't trust them. And then another one. Katie, this is... So Katie's McBuna, right? Like Kathy, Katie. I don't know. Maybe I'll do this tomorrow. It just seems so dead in here. Nobody's chatting. Nobody's talking. It's like we're at 123 people. I had a feeling this was going to happen with this, talking about this case. Katie, this is not like some chick showing off tattoos to your man. This is happening, and it's serious because these people are going to come back. They didn't go through the trouble of seeking my mom out to hand her that and then go away. So I got two options. They're not going away. May wish they go away and never come back, but they ain't going away. The trouble they went through. No, it's very simple. Like, if you're going to charge me, charge me. What I'm saying is that this person is not going away. They came very equipped with details. They did the details. Where did the details come from? I don't know. No, this just goes on and on and on here, right? How about I'll read to here, to right there, and then maybe that'll be it. I think, where was I? Right here? Yeah, no, it's very simple. Like, if you're going to charge me, charge me. What I'm saying is that this person is not going away. They came very equipped with details. Where did the details come from? I don't know the details. 2, they said the guy name was 2O. I don't even know who the F it is. Is there just 2O? Cam supplies name. Tudo's incarcerated now, and I know that you've been helping out Katie and helping your family and helping out Katie and her family. Now Tudo's family needs your help. My mom was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, well, maybe this will refresh your memory. And he handed it to her. KM talking. So it's, that's okay. So McBunna's talking now, or McBunna. Talking, and she said respect, spoke like polite. She goes, polite and well spoken. I said, did he act thug, or did he have talk with like a thick Spanish accent or anything? She said no. I said, was he white or Hispanic? She said he was white, but he could have been Hispanic. But that McBunna talking says, yeah, could have mistakes. I mean, everybody in Miami is Hispanic, so it's like you can't tell. So Katie, they'll be back. These people know about, whoever it is knows information. Let me ask questions. When everybody was there the next day, did any of you take any money? It's not like you're driving around in a Bentley, cruising around in a mega yacht, Someone, that says, someone he must at some point, because otherwise he'd have no idea that I had anything to do with it. It could. I wish I was a cop playing games. Why didn't they know it was me? If it was a cop playing games or an investigator playing games and they didn't mention me, they didn't mention your son's girlfriend, Katie, not mention me at all and my family, and I think if they thought I had something to do with it, they would find me and they'd talk to me, What I'm saying, like, go talk to the person who involved, not effing people who aren't involved. And I'm not involved, but if they knew your relationship with me, not my family. Like, I dated you, not my mom. They knew my dad's name. This person obviously doesn't even know that we dated. That's the direct connection, is who was her boyfriend. The 71-year-old guy, Dr. Adelson, or the 37-year-old Dr. Adelson. Yeah, 37. Let's go talk to him, Dr. Adelson. That's who they talk to. not waste your time with Mom. They need to talk to someone who knew what the F went down, and so wouldn't it make sense that your connection to my family is me? Your connection to my family is not my mom. Like, yeah, you work for the office now because the checks are from there, and that's just because you come in and work on the weekends, which I trust that you're doing because I'm never there when I see you. You tell me you do it, and place looks clean, so you get your checks. You clean up, whatever, but that's neither here nor there. This person knows information, and even if they are cops, that information said your name. And they also know that they're claiming that somebody who had something to do with it is incarcerated. I don't know anybody in jail. This is what, and then KM said him something. And then this is what I want you to do. I want you to call up this person and say that I got a call from my girlfriend of mine, from girlfriends of mine, who say that you reached out to them and that you mentioned my name. And remember, protect your name recently. So what you're going to say is, I got a call from some friends of mine who said that you had reached out and that you had mentioned my name. These people want you to go to the police because they had nothing to do with what you're talking about, okay? And frankly, I don't know what you're talking about, but the name sounds familiar of who's incarcerated, so I'm going to give you something as charity to help the less fortunate. But do not contact these people again, or they are going to the police, and let them know you had to do everything in the world to prevent these people from going to the police because they don't know anything, and I don't know anything, and that the name sounds a little familiar, and that I'm going to help you out with some charity, and don't ever contact me, my friends or family again, or we will go to the police. I mean, Kathy, I'll go to the moon and back for you. That's without even saying. I don't need to say that. And then she said, but that's what it's like, you know what I'm saying? And Kathy said, help me out. Like, I don't have to sit here and tell you what I would do. I could show you what I could do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am like, these people, no wonder they freaking, these people are idiots. They can't even have a conversation here. I look for things to do. You don't ask me for shit. I'm the one that's like, hey, Noah's birthday coming up. I got you, I'm the one who's like, anything I can, you don't ask. I'm the one who's like, hey, I'll sell you the Lexus for a very good price. I know you're having a car problems, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the one who, I don't have to tell you, I know you, man. Could you date a guy that talked like that? I mean, you wouldn't know what the hell they were saying. Well, I guess if he's a doctor, right? I mean, shit. I know my head was, when I was leaving the house, I literally had the bag out, and I had it with the car keys. I know, well, if you want, the guys can swing by my house later, so what are we doing? And then Kathy said, I want you to take it back, write the number down, and I'm going to give you cash. And I want you to talk to 712 something. After the in-person meeting with McBunna, Charles called Donna back to report about his meeting and said he is handling everything. Donna then called Charles back, sounding very concerned. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna call it a night. It's just dead as a doornail in here. Never. It's just. I don't know, man. It gets so depressing. And by the way, you know those long Delphi trial days that I'm playing out there? You know those things? You got anybody watching them? Yeah, you want to see, like, this is what I'm saying. This is why I'm struggling. See right there, like that whole thing. This thing here took me. These things take like 3 or 4 hours to put together, or waiting time, all kinds of stuff. And 1,100 views, got 500 watch hours. With an average time of 26 minutes and 10 seconds, when the actual show is 4 hours and 11 minutes. So nobody's watching them, and look what it brought in. See that right there? $9.80. Can a channel survive on that? And the answer is no. All right, $9.80. So and today, for example, during the entire 4 hours and 11 minutes, not one soul sent in a super chat or a super thanks or anything. So that means that this entire show, transcript of day number 4, is the only amount of money it's going to make is the $9.80 from yesterday, and not a nickel more. So isn't that just shit? I mean, would you guys do that as a channel? I don't think so. So anyways, thank you to Stephanie Sprague for 3 months there, then Stephanie Sprague, and then Amber Maiden, Derek Sherman. We'll just pick up the rest of it another time. Nobody answered the question that I just asked. It's like talking to a brick wall. M10, and then Alley Cake gifted a membership. Then Derek Sherman, Richard Watts. You could safely say without Derek Sherman tonight, this would have been even a huge catastrophe. Richard Watts, and we had Susie Klug, except I did get a really generous coffee earlier from Christine, so that was made, And then Mary Tenor gave a nice one too, so thank you very much. And Derek Sherman, Allie Cake, Michelle H., Sandy Shirley, Derek Sherman again, then M10, then Derek Sherman again, then Dixie Hippie, then Derek Sherman again, and then Jessica Schubach, and then Derek Sherman gifted a membership. Hey, it's Derek Sherman's show. All right. Very cool. But would you guys do an entire show, a video that's 4 hours long, that takes you hours to make, if it returned $9.80? I think you'd say no. All right, anyways, that's where I'm at there. Just gotta be honest with you guys to show you what's happening out there. It's just it's a cold, but the Idaho video that I put out yesterday made $70. Okay, that's what saved it. The show yesterday did just as bad as this one did. Okay, I just happened to do the earlier show, thank God, so maybe that'll make up a difference. But I'm just saying, man, I wish you guys, had an idea of what's actually transpiring. It seems like it's just every show having to ask 100 times again, and it's not fun. Hey, thanks. Deborah Tro, is that right? Deborah Tro? Thank you. Yeah, well, this is a real job, Marty. You seem kind of stupid. This is a real job. Yeah, these people are so dumb. Yeah, it's just amazing. This is a real job. I work 8 hours on this job every single day, minimum. Okay? So, it is a real job. You sound like an absolute clown. Let's see. What was the one on the child killer? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Anyways, we'll finish up on Adelson. Maybe we'll try to do it tomorrow. I'm kind of tired. I will watch non-Stearns. Did you have 2 other shows today? Yeah, I had a live stream in the Stephen Stearns Plea agreement. That show did better than this one. And then I put out a video on the Delphi case that will make maybe $5. And then we did this show, and this one, we got to like 55% of the goal or something like that. What's Lori's in court again? I don't know. What's Lori in court about this time? Probably not, though. These other people already have the whole market on that one. Now, we were the first people on YouTube to cover the Lori and Chad Daybell case, even interviewing the grandparents, and then these people just came in and just sort of gobbled it all up, and just really strange. Couldn't cover it anymore. It's really, really odd, like you're trying to get stuff going, and then these other people just come in and it was really kind of the networks. They paid the grandparents, and they couldn't talk to anybody anymore. Yeah. Well, Stephen Stearns, he spoke. He was just an idiot. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry for your pain," or something. Like, he didn't say that he caused. I don't know. I'm not sure. 6 o'clock maybe. The sad part, whenever I'm on court TV, it actually affects my channel. People don't show up, because I'm on there, and at 7 o'clock I come over here, and then we'll have a night like tonight, and it's just, it's hard to work. No, I don't think I'm just putting out the Delphi trial as a kind of an archive out there. I'm going to redo number 1 so they're all the same, where it's just read by the Speechify, and so they're all the same, and I'll actually delete the first one that I did, and they're all just going to be out there and in order, and people can do what they want. I think they're pretty awesome now. It's so easy to follow, it's crazy. So what was it? What's the hearing for? Oh, her sentencing. Yeah. What's the sentence? What's the thing for Lori? Okay, Lori Daybell. I thought she already was sentenced. I mean, it's just kind of obvious. She's going to get the max, Thanks, Ann Kerrigan. But Gray. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I'm trying, trying to, I don't know, there's just so many Tom, Dick, and Harrys doing true crime now. When Stephen Stearns was speaking, yeah. I don't think he's going to do too well in prison, I gotta be honest. I mean, he's exactly like Kohberger. He's not in as much trouble as Stephen Stearns. I mean, because Kohberger is, that those kind of killings of like adults, people, other people have killed them. I mean, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like, you're a marked person when you kill a child like that. I think he'll still be in trouble because there's somebody out there that's like, you killed those beautiful girls for Kohberger, but with Stearns, he killed a 13-year-old girl. And that's where the prisoners, they don't accept that kind of stuff. So, you know, maybe somebody in there. Huh? Who's... Yeah, well, Kohberger... Yeah, Stern's got 5, yeah. No, what am I talking about? Kohberger got 4 life sentences and then 10 years. But not really life, but like 40 years, I guess. 40, 40, 40, 40, 10. Yeah, prison justice. But you guys know what I'm saying. I mean, don't you think Stearns is in more trouble than Kohberger? Has a marker for him already in Florida. How do we know that? But he's already got a marker out for him. I mean, where does that news come from? Usually in the shower. Right. Anyways, I know the times just aren't that great right now. It's hard for me to, you know, like a couple days ago I did 6 hours of streaming and I made the goal, but that just barely. And then today I'm at 4 hours and we're over the goal, but you know, it'd be nice to have one of those days where you do way better so that you can you know, make up for those other days. But it's getting harder and harder and harder. I know every one of the videos that I made in the Idaho 4 case are better than most of the people that make videos on the case, but you know, somehow they just don't get seen. You know, I make a video. I've been doing these crazy animations showing where all the vehicle was based on you know, absolute factual information, timing with the surveillance cameras, and somehow they just don't make it, man. People look at it. I'm thinking of like re-uploading some of them, but I appreciate that, Ann Kerrigan. I don't feel like I get treated that way though. You know, it's weird. Yeah, no, Sandy, I just explained it to you. I said that Kohberger isn't going to be treated like Stephen Stearns is. Okay? Let's see. I saw a video of a prisoner put out through the jail. He had his face concealed. Oh yeah? How do we know that wasn't some YouTuber just making a prank video like they do? Something like that. I think what you guys interested in finishing up on the Adelson tomorrow? I mean, it's 24 pages. We were on 10. It's crazy. It just goes on and on and on. Look at this. Well, not actually, you know, not too many more actually. In some ways, it makes me just want to finish it right now. Yeah, let's just do it. I mean, look at that. That's only... Should we just do it right now? I mean, hell, we're on page 10 and it goes to 14. How about we go to... we'll finish it, and then I'll upload it to ChatGPT and have it just tell us what it said in a shortened form. Or should I wait till tomorrow, you know, because what are we at here? We're at 2 hours and 20 minutes. All right, make it worth the while. Make it worth the while. Here we go. On April 21st, 2016, calls were intercepted between McBunna and Charles, and they attempt to disguise their conversation using real estate references such as security, property, posted incorrectly, and wrong tenants for rental property. Charles and his dad, Harvey, met for dinner later that evening. McBunna and Garcia were intercepted having numerous arguments over the phone. The morning of April 21st, 2016, McBunna and Garcia were intercepted having numerous arguments over the phone. The morning of April 21st, 2016, it appeared McBunna was trying to convince Garcia to figure out who the phone number belonged to and place the call himself. In a heated exchange, Garcia said, "I'm not making that effing phone call." He later said, "I'm going to take care of this effing problem." On Monday, April 26, 2016, a letter was sent to Harvey and Donna Adelson. This letter was sent via USPS by investigators for the purpose of follow-up from the undercover initial conversation. Calls intercepted indicate Donna shared the information with Charles, who in turn forwarded it to McBunna. McBunna asked Garcia to either determine who the phone number belonged to or call the phone number. McBunna reported to Charles the phone was either out of service or not a good number. It appeared Garcia lied to McBunna about making the call or had not called the correct number. The agent's phone number was not called and was working properly after conducting tests to verify. Later, the same date, Charles called McBunna and asked if she was on her way. It appeared Charles and McBunna have been communicating through a different source to schedule a meeting. Later review of iCloud messages from Charles' records indicate he and McBunna would often communicate via WhatsApp, a phone application that allows for secure communication not retrieved in a cellular record. Charles directed her to Harvey and Donna's building to meet with them. Charles told McBunna that he was talking to his parents about everything. Charles continued to try and convince her to meet at Donna and Harvey's building, but eventually agreed to meet with her at another location. McBunna calls Charles back, who advised they are meeting at a marina near Monty's. On April 26, 2016, Charles called Donna and they discussed the conversation that occurred the prior night. Donna said she felt better after their conversation. Donna asked Charles to let her know once things are taken care of. He further stated that if you don't know who the person is, it's a much bigger problem, Charles said. If you know who it is, it's a very, very easy, Charles told Donna to stop getting worked up about things. Charles assured Donna there was nothing she needed to worry about and that it was being looked into. On May 4th, 2016, at approximately 2:09 a.m., a text message was sent to Donna's cell phone from the undercover agent. Later in the day, Charles asked Donna if she was okay, and Donna advised she would talk to Charles about it on Sunday. Charles wanted to talk to Donna before Sunday, and they agreed to Charles coming by at around 11:30 a.m. the following day, May 5th. While driving to meet with Donna, Charles called McBunna, advising there was a new problem and he may need to meet with her later that day. Hey, I'm waiting, guys. Make it worth doing these extra readings here. After the meeting, Charles left the icon and called McBunna, KM, asking her how someone would get his mother's number. McBunna told Charles it's possible to locate the phone number online. Charles used specific phrases sent via the text message. Charles called Donna and they discussed paying the $5,000. Charles advised the sooner they pay the money, the better. They discuss being nice but firm when the money is paid, so the person knows that it is only a one-time payment. On Friday, this is at 5,000. Okay. On Friday, May 6, 2016, at 5:03 p.m., Donna successfully contacted the agent by calling his number. The total duration of the call was 8 minutes and 48 seconds. The call was recorded by the FBI. In summary, Donna made the excuse her children had possession of her phone, so she did not know he called. Donna went over the previous contacts between herself and the agent. She said she took him seriously and she was stressed out. She claimed she asked friends what she should do. She denied knowing anything referenced by the agent concerning help provided to her by the agent's friend Rivera. She then brought up the reward offered and suggested he seek that out instead. The agent reminded her all he asked for was $5,000. Donna claimed she had nothing to do with the death of her ex-son-in-law and that she was left out of the loop. Jeez. So threw everybody else into the loop. The agent reminded her the problem was not going away and she did know McBunna and what was done for her. Donna continued to deny knowledge and ended the conversation by saying she could call the agent back. Charles told McBunna about a new CD he wanted her to listen to, indicating he had a recording of the call between Donna and the agent. Charles used the reference "potbelly pigs," to which McBunna responded, "That's not good." On May 25th, Sigfredo Garcia was arrested for his involvement in the case. Looks like 2016. On May 26, 2016, electronic surveillance suggested that Charles Adelson and Catherine McBunna were in close proximity to each other and may have met in the overnight early morning hours. On June 28, 2016, Luis Rivera was arrested for his involvement in the case. On September 30th, 2016, a proffer was conducted with Luis Rivera in the presence of an attorney. This proffer was not recorded. Rivera was sworn prior to any testimony. And yes, if you're out there and you'd like to help support the Gray Hughes Investigates YouTube channel, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for your consideration. Rivera stated he has known Sigfredo Garcia since childhood. Garcia told Rivera about a high-dollar robbery he wanted to do with Rivera in Tallahassee, Florida. The first time Rivera and Garcia traveled to Tallahassee was in June of 2014. Once they departed for Tallahassee in June was when Rivera learned Garcia wanted him to commit a murder, not a robbery. Garcia promised Rivera $30,000 to commit the murder. While en route to Tallahassee, Garcia provided Rivera with more details, explaining a woman with 2 kids wanted her ex-husband murdered so she could have full custody. Wow, so why is he mentioning Wendy here? Garcia told Rivera the offer was presented to him by Catherine McBunna, and the total payment for the murder would be $100,000. Rivera suggested robbing the woman of the $100,000 instead of committing the murder. That's a pretty good idea, I guess. The two traveled with a long-barrel .38 Taurus revolver and a short-barrel black .38 Smith & Wesson revolver. The two around the victim's residence and followed the victim's vehicle. Rivera recalled Garcia having a colored printed photo of the victim with words printed on it. Rivera could not recall what was printed. They would eventually park the car at a Winthrop Park and wait for the victim to leave. Rivera would later show investigators where they parked and the routes they took. What was that? Winthrop Park? Oh, so that's right there. I mean, let's see. Rivera could not recall what was printed. Where was that? Winthrop. I can't remember where it was. Alright. They would eventually park the car at Winthrop Park and wait for the victim to leave. Rivera would later show investigators where they parked and the routes they took to the victim's residence. Rivera indicated Garcia told him McDonough approached Garcia with the offer of $100,000 to be divided amongst the three. $40,000 was for Garcia, $35,000 was for Rivera, and the remainder was for McDonough. Garcia later offered $2,000 more to Rivera. After losing the victim and failing to complete the murder in June, the two decided to return to Miami. Approximately a month later, the two returned to Tallahassee to commit the murder. Rivera, wow, so he was supposed to be killed in June. Rivera rented the Prius in his name. They arrived in Tallahassee in the early morning of July 17, 2014. The same morning, July 17th, of the same morning. That's right, the next day is Monday. The same morning, July 17th, they drove to the victim's neighborhood. While driving around, Garcia involuntarily discharged the revolver. What the hell? Through the floorboard of the Prius. Rivera noticed the car started losing power, and they learned Garcia shot a hole through the gas line. They were able to repair the vehicle and continue traveling. A search warrant was issued in October of 2016 for the Prius. The fuel line underneath the passenger side of the vehicle was spliced together, and the corresponding hole was located in the floorboard, consistent with the information provided by Rivera. The following morning, July 18th, Rivera and Garcia traveled back to the back of the area of the victim's residence, where they observed the victim leaving the neighborhood. They followed the victim around. This is when he was dropping off his kid. Around town as he dropped off his kids off and went to Premier Gym. As a return to the victim's residence, the victim turned off Thomasville Road prior to Benton Road. Rivera and Garcia traveled further down Benton and entered the neighborhood from the south. As they approached the victim's residence, the victim was pulling into the driveway in front of them. They pulled in behind the victim. As he parked in the garage, Garcia exited the Prius and approached the driver's side door of the victim's car. Garcia shot the victim twice in the head, then returned to the Prius, and the two left Tallahassee. They traveled north on Thomasville Road to I-10 to I-75, confirming the information previously discovered through electronic data. While driving back to South Florida, Garcia called McDonough approximately an hour into the drive. Garcia told McDonough, "It's done." Rivera explained he could hear McDonough's voice as Garcia held the phone up to his ear. During the drive, Garcia asked Rivera to pull over near a bridge and waterway so Garcia could dispose of the firearm. I guess they do that. Numerous attempts to locate the bridge and waterway were unsuccessful. Upon returning to South Florida, Rivera and Garcia withdrew cash from an ATM in Pembroke Pines, where they were observed on an ATM security camera. They then drove to Rivera's residence. The following morning, Rivera received a call from McDonough. She told him he wanted the money he needed to tell her where to meet because she could not get a hold of Garcia. Rivera knew Garcia was at Stephanie Carmona's residence, so he called a friend. Oh, come on, Derek. You don't have to do that. Yeah. Hell, I tell you what, I'd rather just have small amounts on where different days, everybody's helping out on different days. But thanks, Derek. That was very kind of you. Maybe I can turn on the... That gonna work? Since we're on a delay, it might work. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, sometimes it just feels like I just keep talking and doing shows and it's just dead as a doornail. But man, see, that's what's missing. Like whenever I would get these amounts, they kind of make it so it's that you can make the night, the goal. But now it's just like $2 and $5 and then, you know, I mean those all together help, but it's like those ones that we used to have, those are the ones that get you to the goal where at the end of the month you can donate. I mean, see, the thing is we're a big element of my channel is the ability to donate money at the end of the month. You know, like $251,000 we've given away. I mean, that's $251,000 more than a lot of other YouTube channels have given in that same 5-year period of time in the true crime world. I don't know, I guess it's you guys are so far behind that it might show up. I don't know. Who's Mark what? Who are you talking about? Anyways, thanks, Derek. You don't have to, like, on one show, you know, I appreciate you like, you know, making such a big difference tonight. Very kind. The following morning, Rivera received a call from Magbana. She told him he wanted the money. He needed to tell her where to meet because she could not get a hold of Garcia. Rivera knew Garcia was at Stephanie Carmona's residence, so he called a friend, Anthony Ortiz, to go pick him up. While waiting to return home, Rivera received a call from his child's mother, Jessica Rodriguez, whom he lived with. Jessica told Rivera that Garcia and Magbana were at their residence with a package for him. Rivera returned home. He observed Magbana's white SUV in the driveway. As he entered the residence, he received the package from Magbana and Garcia. Rivera did not want Jessica to know what was in the package. Rivera then left the residence with Garcia. Rivera described the package as a stack of cash, $100 bills stapled together. In July of 2018, contact was made. Well, I appreciate it, Derek. I appreciate everybody's support. You know, like, you know, I mean, it was crazy. Like, if you did a show and you had 126 people watching and everybody sent in $2, we'd make the goal. That's how easy it would actually be. But no, that never happens, you know. Everybody doesn't do that. I think a lot of the viewers are, some of the people in the background are just trolls waiting for stuff, you know, waiting for Gray to say, hey, everybody, if you could please help support the channel. You know, somehow that's bad to them. But anyways, in July of 2018, contact was made with June Umchinda. Umchinda was, man, there's so many people in here, it's crazy. Umchinda was a girlfriend of Charles Adelson. At the time, the undercover operation in which an FBI agent approached Donna Adelson. Of relevance in her interview was her recollection of Charles Adelson having stapled money in a safe in his residence. June stated she followed the case in the news, and when she heard about stapled money, she found it odd because she remembers Charles keeping his that way. June also testified that Charles Adelson was acting angry, agitated, and nervous around the time of the undercover operation and Magbana's arrest. Adelson advised June that he gave Magbana a car and financed a portion of her breast augmentation. June Umchinda also observed Donna Adelson to be stressed out during this time frame, and Donna Adelson made a statement to June Umchinda that she felt Dan Markle was haunting her from the grave. So Donna said that. In July 2021, contact was made with Ryan Fitzpatrick. During the interview with Fitzpatrick, it was learned the two had a falling out in recent years over financial disagreements. He said Charles' entire demeanor changed when McBunna was arrested. Adelson started putting up security cameras and was constantly paranoid of arrest. During a conversation with Fitzpatrick, Charles Adelson said, "You can't get away with murder if you keep your mouth shut." Or you can get away with murder if you keep your mouth shut. Fitzpatrick also stated he knows Charles staples his money together because he has received money from him in that manner. Fitzpatrick said Charles staples his money in $1,000 increments. In October of 2019, Garcia was tried and convicted. He was sentenced to life in prison. In April 2022, after the clarified audio recording from Dulce Vita revealed Charles Adelson making additional incriminating statements, he was arrested for first-degree murder, solicitation to commit first-degree murder, and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. In May of 2022, Catherine McBunna was tried and convicted. She was sentenced to life in prison. In October 2022 and November 22, the proffers previously mentioned were conducted with Catherine McBunna. In October 2023, trial for Charles Adelson commenced on November 6, 2023. Charles Adelson was found guilty on all charges. He is set to be sentenced in, this is old here, how much time did he get? In December of 2023, in Adelson's trial, McBunna testified that Adelson told her that his mother, Donna Sue Adelson, had just departed his residence at the time McBunna arrived on the night of the homicide. McBunna said the money she received appeared to have been washed, like literally washed. Jail calls from after Charles Adelson's guilty verdict include multiple calls in which Donna Sue Adelson is telling Charles Adelson that she is getting things in order, creating trusts, and making sure her grandchildren are taken care of. Donna discusses plans for taking her own life, but also discusses plans to flee to a non-extradition country. Donna Sue Adelson has considerable financial resources to accomplish this. On November 7, 2023, Donna and Harvey Adelson booked flights to Vietnam with a stop in Dubai. The flight, and let's see, anyways, I think they were kept from going on the flight. You have to delete those comments. You're just goofing around. Jeez. Alright, let's see. Derek typed in, Republicans need to show their support for Gray's work. Yeah. Anyways, alright, let's see. I'm going to put this in here. What was this one? Was this another? Like, this must have been... How long is this one? Well, it looks like the same one, isn't it? So I have that document. Is this for her? Or? Yeah, Donna Sue, yeah. Let's see. What's it called when you want it to do? Let's see. It's summarize this PDF file regarding the Donna Adelson murder case.
Sure, please upload the PDF file you'd like me to summarize regarding the Donna Adelson murder case. Once it's uploaded, I'll read and break down the key points for you.
Yeah. Maximum details. Alright, let's see. Should we do bro mode though, just to make it more funny? Let's see.
Here is a comprehensive, detailed summary of the Donna Adelson arrest warrant and affidavit regarding...
Alright, let's see. This will be good.
Alright bro, buckle in. Here comes the full savage breakdown of the Donna Adelson arrest warrant in max bro mode. We're talking court drama, hitmen, betrayal, and a Florida fam straight out of a true crime docuseries. What went down too long didn't read for bros. Donna Adelson, the OG matriarch of the Miami-based Adelson fam, just got slapped with charges for the hit job murder of Daniel Markel, her daughter Wendy's ex-husband. We're talking premeditated first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, solicitation, yeah, she put in the order, bro. The hit. Date, July 18th, 2014. Location, Tallahassee, FL, victim, Daniel Markel, FSU law professor. Scene, dude sitting in his car in his own driveway. 2 bullets to the dome, weapon. 38 revolver. Cold, bro. No sign of robbery. Nothing stolen. Just murder. The crew and the whip. Trigger pullers. Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera. Hitmen for hire. Middlewoman. Catherine Magbanua. Baby mama to Garcia. Side chick to Charlie Adelson. Getaway car. Greenish 2008 Toyota Prius. Yes, a freaking Prius, bro. Eco-friendly murder? GPS plus cell tower data plus SunPass toll tags equal to caught in 4K. They stalked Markel all day, waited for him to get home, then boom. Who paid for this? The Adelson fam hated Markel. After the divorce, Wendy couldn't move the kids to Miami. Court said no. Donna and Charles, her son, were like, we'll offer Markel $1 million to chill. He didn't budge. So they escalated, bro. From to. Magbanua testified that Charlie recruited her. Then she got her baby daddy Garcia involved, who pulled in Rivera. They split the $100,000 payday. Charles and Donna handled the cash flow. And yes, it was stapled cash, apparently their signature move. Weird flex. The calls don't lie. Donna was deep in the loop. Call logs show. Coordinated convo flurry just before and after the murder. Calls between Donna, Charlie, Wendy, and Magbanua. Aftermath full of code talk, Xanax, and hush money. Oh, and Donna allegedly told her fam she felt haunted by Markel from the grave. The undercover sting, 2016. FBI rolls out a slick operation. Undercover agent poses as a friend of the incarcerated shooter and hits up Donna for $5K hush money. Donna panics. She and Charlie have secret convos in back alleys and at poolside lounges. Charlie drops lines like, if you're gonna charge me, this is serious. These people aren't going away. Throw in a smoke grenade and see which cockroaches come running. Bro, what? They're sweating hard. Cleanup mode, money and gifts. Magbanua starts receiving handwritten paychecks from the Adelson Dental Institute, signed by Donna. Same memo every time 10 days worked. She never worked there, bro. Straight up fake jobs. Car gifted. Cash gifted. Donna and Charlie equal to sugar sponsors. Who flipped? Luis Rivera flipped first. Told everything. How it was a murder for custody gig. Catherine Magbanua flipped next. Testified that Donna was in on it. She even said the cash was moldy, like literally washed money. Bro. Flee or die. After Charlie got convicted in November 2023, guess what Donna did? She made jail calls talking about making trust for the grandkids, planning suicide, or fleeing to a non-extradition country, also known as Vietnam, with a Dubai layover. Busted before takeoff, bro. You can't outrun karma or the FBI. Wrap up Donna's charges. She got hit with first-degree murder, capital felony, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, solicitation to commit first-degree murder, warrant signed, probable cause locked in, bail equal to denied. Final bro note. This whole case is like the Sopranos Florida edition, only they drove a Prius and paid in soggy bills. Donna went full mob mom, but now she's about to spend the rest of her life behind bars with a rap sheet long enough to roll down Brickell Ave. Let me know if you want. Timeline graphic, text call, diagram of everyone. Trial quotes memed out. Who flipped when chart?
Wow.
Grant Hughes investigates would eat this up, bro.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, let's see. Yeah, let's do that. What's that going to look like? Does that actually text call diagram? Let's see what that looks like. Can they actually pull this off?
Absolutely, bro. Here's a visual style breakdown in text form of the key call. text interactions, and players surrounding the Daniel Markel murder plot. We're talking who called who, when, and why it matters, all centered around July 18, 2014 Murder Day and the Undercover Sting 2016.
It's like code.
Core CAST. Who's who? Numerola phone behavior Donna Adelson matriarch. Alleged funder of hit constant communication with Charles Wendy and post-murder activity Charles Adelson Donna's son, Wendy's brother. Recruited hyperactive caller. Key link to Magbanua Wendy Adelson.
I got one I was going to ask. That's kind of slow.
Your PDF is ready, bro. Download it here. Donna _Adelson _call _text _diagram _bromo. Bottom line, if Donna did confuse literal washing with laundering...
Wait, I think it started up here. Right here. Alright.
Bro, it legit looks like Donna Adelson took the phrase money laundering way too literally. Like, hey Donna, don't forget to launder the cash. And she was like, say less, fam, and ran that through the rinse cycle. But seriously, real reason based on affidavit testimony. Catherine Magbanua testified that when she got paid after the hit, the cash was physically damp, moldy, stapled in $1,000 stacks. Right. She said Charles told her, my mom just dropped this off, she washed the money. So what does that mean? Here's what it probably was: no cap. Possibility explanation obscuring evidence. Donna may have literally washed the money to remove fingerprints, DNA, or any traceable residue.
Said in the chat.
FBI doesn't need a receipt if the cash has skin cells on it. Nervous overkill, she was in panic mode. Washed cash equal to thought she was being smart. Instead, she just made it moldy and sus. Misunderstood laundering this ain't Breaking Bad. She maybe thought cleaning it would make it safe. Sis didn't get the memo it meant moving in and through fake payrolls. Like the checks she also wrote Magbanua. Message of loyalty could have also been symbolic. Like this money's been purified, handed with intention post-hit. Creepy mob move. Bottom line, if Donna did confuse literal washing with laundering, then yes bro, she might have made the cringiest true crime blunder ever. Instead of laundering money like Tony Soprano, she hid it with Tide Pods. Want me to generate a sketch or graphic of this washing the money moment? Could be for a true crime dumb move segment.
Make an image. Let's see. Make a likeness of Donna Adelson washing. Let's see. Literally washing money and staple. Let's see. Let's see what it comes up with. Yeah, where were you, Julia? Let me guess, there was another show somebody else was doing. Let's see. Hey, thanks, Derek. I'll put that. Well, I don't have an email from you. I didn't get an email. Did you send it to Facebook, Derek? I didn't get an email from you. That already doesn't look like that Donna. Well, it could be. She had white hair, though. That looks like Lori Daybell right there already, doesn't it? It looks like Lori Daybell to me. That kind of looks like Donna Adelson, I guess. Yeah, so why waste your time over there, Julia? See, because sensationalism sells. Look at that. There's Donna Adelson. Look at that. Washing cash with a stapler. You. I have to keep that one. Isn't that sweet? Look at that. All right. So after we restarted here, we had the Derek. We had Derek Sherman, Ann Kerrigan, and Derek Sherman again. All right. Well, thanks everybody for being here tonight. At least we got through it. Sweet, right? Oh, okay. Is that it? Tax proof? Okay. I'll put it in there. Oh, cool. Yeah, I guess there's new information that's come out. Like, no, that was in 2014. Never mind. Yeah. All right. So, got the timeline. Thanks, Derek. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, thug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector,
Special thanks to Derek Sherman.
And I'm meaner than a specter with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda.
I no pretender.
And I'll
serve it to you straight without a blender.
And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.
Hey, you guys, I do live streams every single night. So make sure to just check over here. It's usually between, like 6 and 7 that I'm starting a show. So, I mean, I hate hearing the excuse over and over. I didn't know you were live, Gray. I didn't know you were live. I've done a live stream every single night for, like, forever. All right? So, when I keep hearing this, I don't know you were live, well, that means you didn't look.